19 months to 16, headed to 12.
But the more complex part is finding those companies in industries that have high emissions. Think of the steel industry, aviation, much of manufacturing.
Segregate these into little buckets is a luxury we don't have. And that leads to the need for us to work quicker, turn projects around faster. We've turned down the time from getting from a project being discussed to approved from 9.
And finding those companies that have plans, that have to make big investments to get those emissions down.
All that combined with leveraging our balance sheet and...
I was there when they planned it all. A former World Economic Forum insider and Deutsche Bank executive just blew the whistle on Mark Carney's hidden agenda that's threatening Canada right now. Desiree Fixler reveals how Carney's push for net zero, CBDCs, and DEI policies isn't about saving the planet. It's about control and profit. The shocking truth about where $41 billion in World Bank funding has vanished will leave you demanding answers.
You can't mislead your shareholders and investors. You can't misrepresent, and you certainly can't missell your products. Wirecard was placed as a top position in a DWS.
We're actually going to reach very close to that number this year itself, up from 30-something% just a year and a half ago. It leads to some things. A couple of them is last year at COP28, you and I were there together, and we announced that we put 45% of our money into climate finance by 2025.
Between what the company was saying publicly about their ESG capabilities to what they were actually doing internally.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great! Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. So who exactly is blowing the whistle on Mark Carney? Let me introduce you to Desiree Fixler. And trust me, what she reveals about Carney will make your blood boil. This isn't just some random critic. Fixler was at the very table where the global elite make their plans, before she decided the world needed to know the truth. Desiree Fixler's credentials are absolutely mind-blowing. As a former Deutsche Bank executive and high-level ESG insider, she had unprecedented access to the corridors of financial power. She wasn't watching from the sidelines. She was in the room where decisions affecting billions of people were made, and now she's sounding the alarm about what Carney is really up to. But speaking truth to power always comes with a price. Fixler was brutally fired after exposing a massive gap between what DWS, one of the world's largest asset management companies, was publicly claiming about their ESG practices and what they were actually doing behind closed doors. Her entire career was obliterated simply because she refused to stay silent. What Fixler revealed next is explosive. She calls ESG what it truly is, a multi-trillion-dollar marketing scam designed to overcharge investors while delivering pathetic performance, all while pretending to save the planet. The entire system is built to enrich the elites while the average person suffers, and Carney is right at the center of it all. Her testimony against Carney is absolutely damning. Just remember he's a net zero nut that cashed in while he drove up energy prices, she stated bluntly. This isn't speculation. It's an insider exposing how Carney personally profited from the very policies crushing average Canadians with skyrocketing energy costs. The most shocking revelation? While Carney was publicly fighting against Canadian pipelines, he was secretly championing deals to buy the U.S. Colonial Pipeline as chair of Brookfield Asset Management. The hypocrisy is stunning, blocking Canadian energy independence while securing foreign assets for himself and his cronies. And what about the missing $41 billion that vanished from the World Bank between 2017 and 2023? With Carney's Glasgow Net Zero Alliance working directly with the World Bank, we have to ask, where did all that Canadian taxpayer money go? The numbers don't add up, and Canadians deserve answers. Those missing World Bank billions are just the tip of a massive financial iceberg. The collaboration between Ajay Banga and Carney's Climate Alliance has engineered an unprecedented shift in global finance, with the World Bank now directing a staggering 45% of its resources to climate initiatives, a shocking 15% increase in just 18 months. This isn't random policy. It's a calculated financial takeover using 3 coordinated weapons against Canadian freedom. What's happening in Canada is no accident. Mark Carney stands at the center of a perfect storm, orchestrating what insiders call the Davos Agenda, a carefully coordinated triple threat using net zero policies, central bank digital currencies, and DEI mandates as the weapons. This isn't some conspiracy theory, it's a financial restructuring happening in plain sight while most Canadians are distracted by just trying to pay their bills. Let's follow the money trail. Your tax dollars and pension funds are being systematically funneled into climate initiatives without real oversight. Government agencies and major pension funds are now major investors in these climate action plans, according to Fixler's testimony. Think about that. Your retirement savings are being redirected into the very projects causing economic instability across every nation that implements them. Most alarming, this massive financial shift happens without meaningful accountability to the Canadian public. But the control agenda doesn't stop with climate policies. The second weapon is even more invasive: central bank digital currencies. CBDCs would give Carney and his network unprecedented control over every dollar you earn and spend. Imagine a financial system where purchases deemed harmful to climate goals could be blocked, or where your digital wallet is programmed with restrictions on what you can buy. This isn't science fiction. It's the logical extension of the control mechanism being constructed. The third prong of this attack is the DEI deception, replacing merit-based systems with ideological hiring practices that fundamentally change how businesses operate. The truth is that these policies aren't delivering equality. They're creating division while giving global organizations unprecedented influence over corporate governance. The combined impact of these 3 weapons has already contributed to global instability, including energy crises across Europe and conflicts like Ukraine, all while failing to deliver measurable environmental improvements. The pain is real for average Canadians watching their energy bills skyrocket and their purchasing power collapse. We're facing a crucial moment in Canadian history, and Mark Carney stands at its center. This isn't just about policy disagreements. It's about the systematic dismantling of Canadian sovereignty by a man who learned his craft at the highest levels of global finance. While Canadians struggle with rising costs and shrinking opportunities, Carney's implementing a foreign agenda that benefits only the elite few. He's not working for you. He's working for his globalist partners. The choice is clear. Either we recognize what's happening now, or we surrender our nation's future. Share this video with everyone who still believes in Canadian independence before Carney's crisis becomes our permanent reality.